Let's discuss how you can be fooled in your dreams. Yes, not only can the matrix control fool you and suck your energy and your reality manifestation power in the material world, but also if you're an advanced warrior or advanced sorceress and you really are onto the path of finding the truth, you will be fooled into dreamland also. Let me now read you a message I just got from a client. Good day, I had a dream, pretty unusual, but suddenly at 6:15 I heard something in my garden playing or kicking off some kind of plastic object. So I woke up to run at the window, but the noise disappeared and my dream as well. My comment: the client is now on a special detoxification protocol, and while he's doing that, the toxins and parasites inside him will want to stop him. One of the ways how they can stop him, they will inject thoughts into his mind that he thinks that the doors are unlocking, but they aren't, that he thinks that somebody is walking in the garden, but it isn't, in an attempt to make him full of fear, to make him think that he is delusional, paranoid, basically just to stop his advancement. Very often the toxins and parasites must convince you that you are a crazy person, and then you will lose a lot of time until you realize that you are actually not crazy, but you are just infected with the outside force. And also if you hear maybe a voice that parasite or a toxin has injected into your mind, if you feel a sound or maybe just a thought, and if you try to tell it to other people, first of all, they are clueless and lost. Second, they are under the parasite control. Two problems with them. And when you tell your story to them, they will conclude you're a lunatic. Even if they do not conclude you're a lunatic, their parasite will inject them a thought that you are a lunatic, and you will be isolated, you will be maybe sanctioned. I'm sure you will not have any friends, and that will make it harder for you to fight the parasite. However, if you tell to your friends, hey buddies, where are we going, on which sports stadium are we going today to fight against the other group? Hey buddies, what kind of alcohol will you drink? Hey buddies, let's stay up all night and drink and smoke and listen to music that destroys your ears. Then everybody will accept you. You understand? Nobody will think you're a loony. Those are the rules of the game in the Matrix land. Let me continue with the message. Then I cleaned my tongue and went back to bed and had another dream of me being on top of Yesterday Hill, here close to my home, where there is a central water storage, and beside that there is a big oak tree. In the dream I discovered a big sword in the ground, very close to the oak tree, and this sword had a beautiful casing made in purple leather and with several big buttons in brass. So what happened in this dream? I will now explain you what happened. When a would-be warrior or would-be sorceress struggles, fights, he can no longer be fooled in the material world. I'm sure you cannot be fooled anymore in the material world. If you have some kind of pain in your body, you will not run to the temple where there will be a person that thinks he is very wise, usually an older person in white robe. He will have all kinds of titles in front of his name, and he will be in a temple which is usually the best architectural marvel in your city. Especially in the Western world, the temple where people seek health advice is usually the most expensive building, the most beautiful building, like the beauty of the building has any relationship to health. And then at that building, that super expert will usually not even examine you, but machines will do the examination. Machines will spit out, that's how I call it, spit out some numbers and parameters, and then the expert, maybe you will not even see the expert, but he will, based on that decision, he will make a life-changing decision for you. He will say you need an operation, you need a therapy, you need this, you need that. And to make things funny, in a morbid sense, lately in the whole Western world, that expert is not even allowed to make a diagnosis unless the program allows for such a diagnosis. So the expert cannot diagnose you based on his powers and knowledge, but he must use what the program tells him he can use on the computer screen. You understand the problem? Why was that done so? Because the matrix system of control ran at your place by your local representative. Is it Seth? Is it Lucifer? Or whoever? That system of control has a hard time hypnotizing people. It is much easier to hypnotize the technology, and the technology should be digital, because analog technology is hard to control, because you can see every influence. However, digital signal and digital technology is easy to overcept, because the matrix tentacles can hide in the digital signal, and digital signals are very resistant to influences, and then you cannot see the influence, but it goes through the machine. You understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you have a digital signal that is 0 volts and 10 volts is 1, 10 volts is 1, 0 volts is of course 0, then the matrix signal goes to the machine, and if it changes the voltage to, for example, 1 or 2 volts, it will still be 0. That's how the matrix signal can easily pass through the digital computer screen or a digital television while not disturbing the picture. And that is one of the reasons why it was a mandatory shift in the whole world, basically, from analog to digital television. It was too fast of shift. It was not really necessary. So the matrix system of control has managed to dominate over the financial system, over the pharmaceutical system, over the medical system. It is getting stronger, basically, year by year, day by day. Of course, not for us. In our reality, we are destroying it. And then the matrix system of control, like it has all major systems under its boot, in its iron grip, it also has the medical system. And it was very important to remove the doctor from the equation, because doctor, if he is strong, he can override the system and he can really help you. However, that must not be allowed for him. That is why doctors of today have become limited by the horrible matrix system, and you will see that they spend more than half of their time into administrating the monster in the computer, basically, instead of helping people. However, there is nothing special, unfortunately, in the medical system, because it happened to all human organizations, to all of them. You can no longer be fooled like that. Or, for example, you will not be fooled and go enthusiastically to vote for your party on elections, even though it disappointed you 4 years ago. And you will not be fooled, for example, to go fight a war for some rulers that will never see each other, or that may even be friends. But when you come to that level, when you are able to see the illusions of the material world, then you will be assigned special priority in the matrix control, and illusions will start happening in the dreamland. Those illusions require much more energy from the matrix control, because in your dreamland you are closer to your spirit, and spirit has more power to scare off the matrix tentacles. It fries them, basically. However, you are still not near enough your spirit for it to scare them 100% and to fry them and to cut them off. So the matrix control can enter your dream, but it will need huge energy to do so, and it is counting that by your misbehavior after that you will feed it. So in this client's case, what happened? This sword that has been displayed is most obviously a fake sword, where the matrix control wants him to stop his development. So he starts thinking he is super strong, he has this sword of power where he will destroy the matrix, and maybe even matrix control will take in some losses. It will take in some losses. It will give him some little powers. So he stops his development and starts charging the matrix dragon with a relatively little power, and then the dragon destroys him. That happens to many alternative people, to many truth seekers, to many healers. Matrix control lessens the grip on them just so they would think they have these huge powers, and then they attack, they charge obviously for their enemy who has imprisoned them in this reality, and then they lose or go crazy. But remember, since we are warriors and sorcerers, we are even more poisonous than the matrix snake. When it beats us, it dies. So I was ready for this. I was ready for this illusion to happen to the client, and now huge energy was invested in that illusion, but we are not playing along. We will do a counter-strike. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you which one over this public channel. I can just tell you we are gonna do it, and I know the Matrix agents will hear it also. I know that this information will be coming to the Matrix Central from 100 sides, but I am not telling how we will strike. Huge energy was invested into this sword, and not only that we will not give energy back, but we will strike with a real sword. And I want the local Matrix representative, probably Seth, I want him to defend all gates of the Castle Doom of the Matrix colony near that client, but we will strike only on one, and when we strike we will destroy that gate and we will destroy half of the castle in this strike. I hope this was interesting for you, would-be warrior or would-be sorceress. If you think you have a similar problem in your life, contact me. I need to talk to you. When I hear you, when I have your voice, then I will be able to really have a feeling what is your situation. You may not see all your problems, because if you were able to diagnose all your problems, you would be 50% already finished in healing them. You understand? I will give you instructions how to set up an encrypted channel. It's very easy. That way Matrix can still hear us, but it needs huge energy investment to do so. And let's do it. Let's destroy the Matrix reality in your life.